Welcome back to my channel Cheating Stories 911. Story 1. Wife was drunk the other night. She freaked out on me about me not finding her attractive, which I think she is beautiful and amazing, and even stopped talking to some of my best friends, who are female, because she wasn't comfortable with it. She however has guy friends, which I was comfortable with until the other night when she was drunk. She freaked out on me saying I don't find her attractive. Really, I'd give up everything for her, but after the freakout she apologized for doing something. She wouldn't tell me what she was sorry for doing. She also has been messaging another guy that we both know, and her and other people, like her GMA, cousin, and friend, tell me those to wrestle and play around. They're giggly around each other, and she also has his message notifications off but obviously messages him a lot, as well as deletes the messages. He seems to show affection through the messages. I know I shouldn't have looked through her phone without asking, but something has felt off. She has a locked folder and doesn't seem to really return affection. It feels like I'm in the way of her happiness. If I am overreacting or what. I'm going to come clean about going through her phone and apologize, but obviously she shouldn't forgive me for that since I should have asked what was up. I know it's hard for me to show affection, especially in public, because of past relationships where they freaked out on me for simply holding hands in public or having any female friends. But I have been trying to show my wife more affection and love. It still seems like she is cheating in one way or the other though, and I do not know what to do. I have cancer, so I can't blame her for wanting someone else, as I could die from this. Am I in the wrong in thinking something is up? Is he just a friend? Or should I trust my gut and believe something is happening? I just want to make her happy, or make sure she is happy. If leaving makes her happy, I'll do it, even if it would rip me apart. She is the reason I'm fighting this cancer. So I don't know how to go about talking about this without breaking down. I guess I just want others' opinions on what they think is going on before I speak with her about all this and apologize for going through her phone, which she deserves an apology for, and I don't think she should forgive me for looking through it. Side note is I don't have any locks on anything on my phone, and I've told her she could use it, or go through it whenever she wants. She can also message anyone through my phone, whatever, no issue. It's what I'm used to anyways from the past. Comment 1. She's checked out. You don't have to apologize for going through her phone. She's your wife. She's not entitled to keep secrets. Anyone who says otherwise is a fool. I second that. I don't hide anything for my wife, and I don't expect her to hide anything from me no matter the circumstance. If I want to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, pick up her phone, and go all through it, then I will. If I want to know how much she has in her checking account, I would dig to her purse like some kind of crazy hobo, pull out her cash apps, pay cards, gift cards, funking library card, and check every one of them until I know what I need to know, and I wouldn't expect any less from her. Comment 2. You can do a headstand on top of your dresser, and you still might not receive the recognition of effort. Once you've been emotionally rejected, it's time to acknowledge that you've been replaced. Yes, she has is cheating, so you must shut off the support valves and stop trying to make her happy. Story 2. Ada for pulling out of planning my sister's wedding, causing her to lose her venue. As a wedding planner who has been in the industry for many years now, my 31 million party trick amongst close friends and family is being able to guess how long my clients' marriages will last with pretty alarming accuracy. If you ask anyone in the industry, there are specific indicators while working with a couple that allow us to be able to gauge compatibility. I can usually get down to around a 6-month window when predicting when photos of each other will disappear from socials. This is not me taking joy in crashing and burning of relationships. Working in this career field can actually leave you feeling jaded about relationships in general, which is why I'm reluctant to work for friends and family. The specific stress wedding planning puts on some people, couples can bring out the worst in them that you don't see in everyday life. My sister is getting married early next year and practically begged me to plan for her despite my stance on clients I know personally. I finally gave in and we began the process back in March. Last week, while we were meeting and finalizing a few things, she asked me about the party trick I mentioned. She said since I had been working with her and her fiancé for months now, I could give my prediction as to how long they were going to last. I laughed and tried to move on. I thought she was joking, but she continued to press the issue. After her continually bothering me about this for at least 15 minutes when I'm trying to move on, I do have work outside of my specific appointment with her that I needed to get to. I finally told her I thought they would last forever. She claimed she didn't believe me and wanted my real number, so I shrugged and told her the truth. A year and a half. She was livid. I felt incredibly uncomfortable with the whole ordeal, especially with how little she respected my boundaries in what is supposed to be a professional setting, and just tried to usher her out of my office. Instead, she began ranting about my own marriage and said she gives us until the end of the year before we break up, and accused me of being a homewrecker. She finally left, and I emailed her saying I would no longer be involved in planning. I gave her the contact information for all of the vendors we were working with, but told her the venue would no longer be available as they only booked the people they have existing relationships with and my involvement was necessary. I have had to break up with clients before, but this felt particularly rough. She has now told her parents that I am purposefully sabotaging her wedding, and that I was unforgivably rude to her when she just asked a playful question. I feel very silly for letting a person disrespect my boundaries over and over again, something I typically wouldn't tolerate, but now I'm wondering if I'm in the wrong. Comment 1. Update in a year and a half whether your number was accurate. Reply. Only if Op's sister can actually get married. Next comment. Sounds like she can get married, just not where she wanted to. With an attitude like that, she probably won't make it to the altar. Comment 2. If you push and push to be told information, you alone are responsible for the consequence that hearing it brings. NTA. Op should get in front of this and let his parents and others know how this really went down. Let them know everything you just told us. The sister will be an unreliable narrator. True, but as a matter of general life advice. Op should have refused to answer, he's NTA, but that would have been smart. Comment 3. NTA. She pushed. You gave a perfectly acceptable answer of forever. To which she didn't like that and wanted a real answer. But what would she have been happy with? 20 years? 10 years? It sounded like she is a constant boundary pusher. You didn't want to plan the wedding, but she pushed it. You didn't want to answer the question, but you pushed it. This is on her. That said, don't expect your family to see it that way. They probably will take her side because people enable shitty behavior from brides. Good luck. There's a reason for the saying. Don't ask questions you don't want to know the answer to. Sister gets mad and starts unleashing hellfire against Op when she didn't get the answer she wanted to hear and yet still can't see her own behavior as the reason why Op have such an honest response. NTA. Story 3. Found out that Dad cheated on Mom. What do I do? For context, Dad and Mom in late 50s, my younger sister and I, are in our 20s. He's a good father until a few years ago where he started arguing with my mom more often and that caused him to be more hot-headed, which affected my sister and my relationship with him. That aside, he still brings us out for family meals, asks after us, and is fairly involved in our lives. With my mom they keep a bare minimum companionship but are still only fairly peaceful terms. My sister was using my dad's phone to help him with a device issue, and she accidentally came across his chat with a woman when toggling between apps. His last text was telling her not to text him now as my sister will be using his phone. She then scrolled through out of curiosity and there was straight-up evidence of cheating that dates back 5 years, and pictures of the woman, my dad, and 2 other young children which might or might not be his. She lives in a neighboring country and this explains his frequent bro trips. My sister came back home and told me this in person, and with more snooping we found more than enough evidence. We are very torn regarding how to go about this. My mom is a very doting mom, but as a wife she got jaded after his temper worsened over time. However, through recent conversations with her, she tells us that she is happy to have a peaceful companionship with my dad to grow old with, even though the feeling of love between them have faded. I am 80% sure she does not know about his cheating, as she constantly still reminds us that he is a good dad to us despite his temper. She has also mentioned recently that she will leave any man that cheats. Her dad has cheated on her mom before, and his sister has been cheated on by her husband too. Thus if she is still here then I'm guessing she does not know. My sister and I are disgusted and still struggling with the emotional burden of this despite it not being our fault, but our views of him has been totally shattered. We are struggling to keep up appearances with him while thinking of the next step. What holds us back from confronting him? My mom is having a peaceful life and she seems happy with how things are now. We don't want to hurt her and turn her life upside down. I am getting married end of this year, and if things turn to shit then my mom might have to marry me off alone, which might cause her to be embarrassed in front of relatives while the emotions are still raw. He owes my fiancé a fairly large sum of money, which he could just run off with. He has a tendency to forget his debts if convenient. My sister works under him, and her income is reliant on him. She has started to actively look for a new job. Anyone has any similar experiences or any opinions, please do share. Thanks in advance. TLDR, sister found out via dad's phone that he has been cheating for at least 5 years. Not sure how to confront dad if we should. Comment 1. Stop borrowing him money. It sounds like he's supporting another family which is causing his debt. Before you or your mom confront him, make sure your ducks are in a row. Get an attorney, make sure he pays you back, and collect more evidence. Reply. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to secure more evidence to be able to prove in court. Thanks for your advice. Comment 2. Your mom deserves to know. It's going to hurt her, but imagine her finding out on her own and knowing that you knew but didn't tell her. I would also advise telling your mom so she can plan how she exits. You just need to be strategic about what happens before you tell her. Get the money back, put pressure on him any way you can to get that money. Hire a lawyer if need be. Your sister needs to find a new job ASAP. When you get married, it might be without your dad, but just know that He's the one who's messed up, not you and not your mom. Comment 3. Tell your mom I don't know why you even think about this, like, well, I don't want to blow up her whole life, and she seems happy. She seems happy now because she does not know that she's being cheated on and then her husband has a second life. Tell your mom so she can get her stuff in order. Get her money from him, and people need to understand they don't see it as for what is my significant other finds out and leaves. How will I afford to do this stuff now? How will I afford to take care of this other family comfortably, cause I'm also about to have to pay alimony and spousal support and also about to be going through divorce, so that significantly affects the finances. Cheaters don't understand that, and I forget that part, and that's why they end up messed up spot. Story 4. Am I wrong? I'm losing myself. WTF should I do? My man, Anthony, began slowly distancing himself from me. We've been together for 4 years now, and we have 2 kids, a 2-year-old and a 7-week-old newborn. I noticed he stopped communicating with me the way he once did, and when I'd ask him about why he'd be acting different, he'd say everything is okay, all is fine, that I'm tripping. I believed him when he'd say he was okay, that maybe the weird distance feeling I'd get was simply because he was just tired from his graveyard shift. FedEx warehouse, which makes sense, I get that, but shit remained weird, like he stayed in that comfortable state of not talking to me as much, watching our shows anymore. He was easily mad for small things, and it became an issue with me. For 4 weeks he didn't bother trying to show me any physical touch, cuddling, hugging, kissing. Sex was straight out the question too, so I told him WTF is up, why he was being this way, and if nothing wrong and he is okay and we are okay, then why doesn't he want to have sex? And he told me he wasn't feeling horny, that he's been in his head and he has been stressing out that sex hasn't came to mind, but I later found out he had been cheating on me. I'm practically forcing him to tell me the truth. I knew shit was off with us, and since he didn't want to tell me anything, I had to assume shit, and I figure his distance was due to him having someone else. I just had our daughter, and I've been struggling mentally to keep my shit together for my family. I tried to stay strong for a long time, but it was 4 weeks of him not helping me with our daughter at all and tell me consistently that I was tripping and I'm crazy for even thinking that he was cheating. We lived together, and he was treated me like a stranger, sleeping next to me and not be the cuddling person he was. Shit made me feel so ugly. My mind continues even now having overflowing amount of negative thoughts about what's wrong me. I must be. Why am I not enough in his eyes? I'm the mother of his 2 babies. I at least am worth to be able to be told the truth. But no, he can't and hasn't been honest as of recently, and I'm trying to work things out and forgive him for cheating. He says he's never slept with anyone or did anything sexual with anyone. The most he did was growing feelings, only lust supposedly to coworker, but things never got to that point. Because I made the choice of moving back with my parents so forcefully he had to quit his job and obviously he was going on had to end. He hadn't yet told me either about his female up until like a week ago. I know heck he did based off how he'd react when I'd ask a boot if he was unfaithful he'd take it so personal and I was trying to attack him to me if someone has done anything wrong they shouldn't be upset or take it personal and get angry. This shit so frustrating I'm going out of my mind. I haven't been okay, I want to feel like things are okay and he does love me and I want to believe nothing changed. His love for me. But by actions it says otherwise. He tells me everything is fine and he loves me and that I shouldn't feel like his love towards is different but maybe he's right and I'm tripping and my insecurities are getting the best of me but I want to feel secure again and good in my relationships. I'm really struggling to get back there and I've expressed it to him enough to help me feel secure in my relationship and to reassure me that he loves me but shit isn't the same. And I feel like I'm losing my mind. I'm losing myself and it's sad to see he doesn't see how much I'm drained and my mental health isn't stable. It worries me but he doesn't show interest in genuinely helping me to get better so the reality I see is I'm losing myself more and more every day. He knows that. But he doesn't care enough to fight for me, to show up and be there in every way possible to help me get out of this dark place and I'm likely gonna do something horribly bad and he has to at least know that but that doesn't matter and I don't matter no more. His carelessness feeds my depression and I'm done. I'm done. Comment. It's hard what you are going through and honestly the only way to find yourself again is to take a break, focus on your kids and you cause he's not going to be the way you want him to be and the harder you try the more crazy it gets. You need to find yourself again. I've been where you are just wanting some truth and unfortunately I've made the mistakes he's making as well with a newborn and it ended worse than anyone can imagine but finding yourself makes it easier to find someone else without a codependency to someone that should respect you. Believe me, I wish I knew how dumb I was anyway. Good luck to both of you and congratulations on the newborn. Cherish every second, they're the best. Today's story reading program stops here. Thank you everyone for listening. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel Cheating Stories 911.